Hello, you guys. It's Kayla with the Celebration Company, and I've had a few of you ask me about candy corn, and I haven't made any candy corn yet. But we're gonna make one today. We're gonna remedy that today. So we're gonna make a super cute little candy corn sign, and I think it's gonna be adorable. So what I'm starting with is this little sign that I got at Dollar Tree. Okay, now I hate to cover this up because it's so cute, but I just feel like this sign's the perfect size. So we're going to cover it up. We're just going to do it because we just got it. Just got it for our candy corn. So I'm going to find a flathead screwdriver, and I just want to try to pry, hopefully, this little frame off of this background. So it's not going to come off intact, and it's not going to come off perfectly. It's on there pretty good. But I really want to get the I don't want that height on here, okay? I want to cover that up. So get as much of it off as you can. I have a plan to cover this up, so don't worry about it like looking bad, because we're going to fix that. We are going to fix that. Looking for my paint scraper here. Just trying to scrape off as much as I can. I was really hoping that the whole thing would just come off in one piece, but it didn't. That's okay. We're going to get off as much of it as we can, and then we're just going to cover up the rest. I had to turn my fan on. I'm getting a little warm up in here. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. All right. So I just took off as much of it as I could get. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take some burlap and make a nice little rectangle. And I'm going to cover up all of that and give us like a base for our candy corn. Okay. So let me just grab some scissors here, and I'm going to measure it. See where I need to cut. And what I do with burlap in order to get a straight line is I just cut a slit, and then I just take a thread, just pull a thread right out, and then it gives you this little stripe right here where you can cut down that stripe and get a nice straight line. Okay. That keeps the burlap nice and straight. So I'm going to just do the same thing for the width. And then we'll fray the edges just a hair. And we'll just have this really nice looking little rectangle to put behind our candy corn. Okay, so just got a really nice little rectangle here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull a few threads out, just kind of all the way around. Okay, and then I'm just going to hot glue this right onto our sign, and I'm just going to literally use that frame that we removed to be kind of our template for where this needs to go, okay? But what I do want to do first is I need to cover this up because it is going to show. And I've got a piece of cardboard here that I was going to use, or I am going to use for my, putting my candy corn onto. But I tell you what I'm also going to do with it is I'm just going to cut a piece to use, that way you don't see any of that image behind the burlap. So I'm just laying it on there. I'm going to use just a knife, just cut a knife and a metal ruler. Just cut about where I thought it needed to be. And then we'll do the same thing down here for the bottom. Okay, just like that, and I'm just gonna hot glue that in there. I forgot to turn on my hot glue gun. So we'll just hot glue that in, and then we are going to hot glue our burlap just right over top. Okay, so we'll get something that looks like this. Okay. So then I'm going to set that aside while my hot glue starts to warm up. And I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. This is just out of one of the Dollar Tree calendars. So it's just a piece of cardboard that came out of that. We're going to make a triangle and use this as our template for our fabric. So I think what I'm going to do is measure the height of how I'm going to use this as my sort of guideline. And I'm just kind of measuring how tall I want my candy corn to be, and I want it to be 7 inches tall. So what I'm going to do is just make a mark. And then I'm going to measure how wide I want it to be, and I want it to be about 3.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to mark 3.5 inches. And I'm just going to make a rectangle shape onto my cardboard. Just marking it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I just made a rectangle. You'll see that right there. So this is my guideline. I know how big I want it to be. So then I am going to measure 3.5 inches divided by 2 is 1 3/4. So I'm just making a mark there. And I'm just going to take my ruler and make a mark from that point to this bottom point to make a triangle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out, but we are going to round it. Okay, so this is my sort of guideline. Okay, you'll see that that's sort of my guideline, but it's not going to be exact. Okay, it's not going to be exact. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of coming in and making it rounded. Now I'm making it just a little bit bigger because I'm doing the round part. So just kind of play with it until you get the look that you want. Okay, so there we go. There is my candy corn. So now we are going to use some fabric. Okay, I've got 3 different fabrics here. I've got this orange sort of sweater material. I've got this white sweater material. This is a ribbon. And then I have this yellow fabric. The yellow is going to go in the middle. A typical candy corn is going to be white, orange, yellow. But because I have 1 fabric and 2 sweater materials, I want to put the fabric in the middle. And so all I'm going to do is just cut a piece. Okay, so just kind of, I'm totally eyeballing this, all right? Totally eyeballing it. And I'm gonna Mod Podge that onto my cardboard, okay? Okay, so we're just gonna Mod Podge this right on. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of Mod Podge just right on my little candy corn piece here. I'm kind of overlapping. All right, and then I'm just gonna place it about in the middle. All right, and just glue that on. So then what you can do is just kind of take your scissors and cut off a little bit of the excess, but don't cut all the excess off because we want to cut them at the same time so that it looks really good, okay? So then we'll do the same thing with the other pieces. So we're just cutting. Okay, and what I'm not worried about the way that it looks at the, like where they meet together. I just want to make sure it's, you know, looks somewhat presentable, somewhat straight. And what I want to do though is kind of make it a little bit rough looking, if I can. Okay, so I just tried to cut it fairly straight, and I'm just gonna take my fingers and just kind of pull and tug on that fabric up here at the top just to sort of rough it up a bit. And then we're just gonna do the same thing, just Mod Podge it right on to the cardboard. And we're gonna overlap the Mod Podge on top of the yellow fabric. Okay. I'm just gonna cut off some of the excess so I don't have it hanging around everywhere. And then we're gonna do the white. Super simple. But I love using the different sweater materials for this. I think it just really kind of amps up the candy corn, makes it look a little bit better. Okay, so for the sweater, I think I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue and Mod Podge just because this one here is a lot thicker, and so I want to make sure that it's adhered really well. So I'm just going to do a little bit of hot glue on here as well. And then just place this on, again, overlapping the orange a little, or the yellow. And just press that on. Okay. So here is what we have so far, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn it over, flip it over, and I'm just gonna trim it up all the way around. just using that piece of cardboard as my template. I'm just following the outline of the cardboard. Okay, just like that. Look how cute that is. That is cute, y'all. Okay, so then I kind of am wondering, I'm kind of like, I know I said one thing, but now I'm wondering about some rickrack. I think I want to put some rickrack right there. And I don't know if I've got any white. Let me see if I have some white. Yes, I do. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put a little bit of rickrack in between the layers. And I've got some white, and then I'm gonna do the orange on the orange and the white on the white. Okay. So just do it right where they meet the yellow. And then again, you can just come back and just trim off that excess. There we go. Look how cute that little candy corn is. It's adorable. Okay, let's go ahead. I think this is gonna be cute, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue all of this together. I'm gonna put my cardboard down, unfortunately covering up the cute little truck. All right, and then I'm just gonna put a line of hot glue just all over this little, where the frame was, and just put my burlap down. Trying to kind of straighten it out as I go. And don't worry about the middle, because once we put our candy corn on, that's going to help to kind of push that middle down as well. So then I have some words. I just got to decide which one I want to use. I'm leaning towards the Happy Fall. So I've got this Happy Fall that came from Hobby Lobby, and it came in a pack of 4 with 2 of them were orange and 2 of them were natural. So I'm just gonna play around here with this. I really kind of like that. Let me show you. I really am kind of liking that. But what I also have are some other ones. I've got this Blessed, which I believe also came from Hobby Lobby, and I thought I could put it down here at the bottom. That looks like this. And then we also have this Hello Fall, which came from Dollar Tree, and it's cute too. I don't like the Blessed. I know that. I think I'm gonna go with the Happy Fall. And I'm gonna just sort of angle my candy corn a bit. Make it a little bit more whimsical. So I'm gonna hot glue this on. Just put some hot glue right on the back. And then I'll just hot glue my Happy Fall on. So I'm just gonna put some hot glue just in random places. Okay. All right, y'all. There we go. How cute is that? That is adorable. And I'm just trying to decide if I feel like it needs anything else before we end it. This is really cute. So super easy, super fun. Love this little candy corn. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have such a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon.